It's BudPod episode 6.
Episode 6, let's chop off our takes. Early on a Saturday night.
Do you have this? I find it really funny. I find it always funny when a song is about let's have a good time tonight. Yeah.
Oh, it's pathetic.
It's so funny to sing about what a good time you're going to have this evening. It's so embarrassing.
Oh, I wish it will be excellent.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking ever so forward to...
Yeah, you wouldn't be friends with someone like that. If I'm so excited for tonight's party.
You can only talk like that if you have like two massive pigtails.
Yeah.
Two massive pigtails and like a big, massive puffy dress.
Yeah, anyone who's writing.
I'm ever so excited.
Anyone who's that excited about a party and writing lyrics that can't be interpreted in any other way.
To like kiss.
Kiss contain multitudes. In which when you're a kid and you see Kiss, you assume they're going to be like the baddest boy rock band of all time because they've got big tongues and they dress like weird aliens. They look like weird different species. They're from like a monochrome planet.
Yeah, or they have Mad Max but a clown.
Yeah,
maybe.
And all their songs are about the concept of rocking.
Yeah,
and I find that really pathetic.
Yes.
The concept of rocking, but never really being able to detail what that is. But I want to rock and roll all night and party every day.
Yeah.
Is so limp. And it's the way he really, and not every day, it's every day. It's every day. Yeah.
But you want to say to Gene Simmons, could you draw me a diagram where the rock and rolling you're doing at night is different from the partying you're doing every day?
Yeah, which is it?
What does each constitute, please? Or is it simply that like home it's burglary at night but home breaking in the day? Or, is it
they're two separate crimes.
It's the same activity.
Yeah, but it has a different...
The sun goes down. Gene Simmons is like there, and then as the sun sets, it becomes rocking. What he's doing now is rock and rolling.
Yeah, because there's, like partying every day, you assume there's no break period whatsoever. So there's a period of partying at, say, 8 a.m., which is what happens at, say, soft play. Isn't it? Where they go, it's boogie time, and then they play a song where everyone's like, I'm wiggling my hips and I'm moving my feet. Is that what Gene Simmons was doing at 8 o'clock? Just go to his local church soft play and you clap your knees and you slap your head. Where is your nose? It's right here. Gonna lick some pussy tonight.
Where is your tongue? It's right here.
Which is it? What are you doing?
My niece dances like all toddlers dance. Where it's basically just...
Yeah, it's that. It's loads of jumping. I remember I used to just jump straight, like hands by my sides. Just pogoing, just up and down.
Yeah. And
that's how I used to dance to Ricky Martin when I was 5 or whatever.
You're a madness kid. You're pogoing. Yeah. You just love madness and ska.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a church soft play with all the kids, and then just one of the kids is just like a full-sized Gene Simmons.
Simmons and the other guy,
in makeup.
Yeah.
But moving in that really loose way.
This is part of the partying side of it, yeah. Because rock and roll as well. When I was a kid, I guess rock and roll, the concept of that would be, there's a Michael Jackson song where like Macaulay Culkin is playing really loud music in his room, and I think John Goodman's his dad. And John Goodman comes upstairs and like starts thumping on the door. Yeah. And Macaulay Culkin's like, you're stuffy. I'm listening to rock and roll. And I always thought rock and roll was just sort of like guitar solos permanently.
Yeah.
That's really crap. That's no life.
It's no life to just be lying down listening to guitar solos.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video to We're Not Gonna Take It?
No.
It's we're not gonna take it. It starts with like an insane like Vietnam veteran crazed dad bursting into a kid's room and screaming at him, but like with like military terms.
Right, okay.
Like referring to his clothes as his uniform and stuff.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And it's and the kid is singing, "We're not gonna take it, we want to rock." And you just think, were you being stopped from rocking by anyone, really?
Yeah, were you really not into the electric guitar?
Was Richard Nixon unplugging your guitar constantly?
Yeah.
Just, every time you try, and just Nixon there holding the cord, going, enough of this goddamn noise!
Yeah.
They don't
specify the it. It could just be like paracetamol.
We're not going to take it.
We're not going to take paracetamol.
The vaccine.
Yeah, we're not going to
There's anti-vax rock and roll.
And it's really upbeat. Yeah.
Gonna get measles tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to breathe on your face all night.
Yeah. And part of every day.
And lick like the button on a bus stop every day.
I have to make my immune system. Gonna drink my own urine tonight.
Yeah. Come on, everybody. You know this song. It's all about licking the self-service menu at McDonald's. Lick the screen. We're gonna lick the screen. Order as a guest. You won't earn points, but I'm gonna lick the screen.
I'm trying to remember other Kiss songs.
Okay. God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, again, just really naff. It's just naff. And naff to the extent that I'm using the word naff.
Yeah.
That's the only word that can really sum it up.
When you go see Anti-Vax Kiss, there's a bit where...
Which is such an apt name as well, of just making intense physical contact with someone. That's why their tongues are out at all times. They're just trying to catch.
As many... They're just... Your natural immune system is strong enough. That's what they say. There's like a kind of stage show aspect to it where they have a bar chart of the measles rate going up, and then the guitarist climbs the bars.
And it's one of those things of like, let's see how much we've raised tonight. Like it's a big fundraiser, but it's like a death toll going up.
Yeah. They sing Christine 16, but it's about her life expectancy.
Yeah.
Speaking of
which, this is very separate, but just a reference to just a number there. I was having to clear up my phone just recently because it was so busy that whenever I was like trying to record gigs and stuff like that, record like work in progress shows and listen back to them, they just weren't recording. There just wasn't space on my phone. Yeah. So I was going back through my camera roll because I had about 4,000 photos, and I was like, well, obviously I need to remove all these, and I'll just choose a random year like 2019 and be like, what can I just blanket get rid of? Loads of screenshots of my home screen, that sort of thing. And a friend of mine, Andy, I'd saved a screenshot because he'd gone speed dating, and he was like, this was a disaster because what happened at the speed dating was they assigned everyone a number, and you didn't know anyone's name, you just knew their number. And then what happened was
greetings number 2.
Yeah, it was like that. But then the way speed dating apparently works is when you go home, you then get an email saying like, you've been matched with such and such a person. So he got an email saying Annabelle brackets 14 has matched with you. And he was like, I need to delete that fucking email.
Followed immediately by a text from like the Met.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You know, we can see this.
What are you doing?
Yeah. That would be like, the Met should just do that, I think, just to random phone numbers every now and then, because I think that would curb prospective crime of just going, dude, you know we can see.
Imagine just getting a text from the Met saying, come on, man. You go far. Fuck.
Yeah, and I realised, like, is it because I was brushing my tongue? I'm brushing my tongue at the moment.
Or you just think, did I tap out?
Yeah. I put the Chicago Town pizza in the microwave, and I know they prefer it if you put it in the oven. But I didn't realise they'd be that bothered.
Bubble wrap isn't recyclable. Yeah. I thought it counts as plastic. It doesn't count.
Oh, I shouldn't have murdered that drifter.
What happened to drifters?
Well, I think people realised I'll die
if I drift.
Yeah. Hitchhiking doesn't really exist as a concept. It exists with things like Bum It and those sort of things. Are very uni and straight after school things where people try and get to like Slovakia as quickly as they can.
It used to be huge. I mean, my parents were saying that like, if you wanted to like get home from uni, you like across South Africa, you could just hitchhike.
Right.
Like a distance of like France and a half.
But were they aware of dangers? And were the dangers real?
Kind, but less so. I don't know.
Your dad's like taller than you, so I feel like no one would try it on with him.
Yeah, but it was kind of anyone was doing it. Like it was, and like in the US as well, it was such a hippie thing to do. It got stopped by like serial killers becoming a thing.
Yeah,
everyone just went, hang on. People keep going missing on highways, and then they started finding all these serial killers and stuff. And
well, I guess if there's so many, it's a safety in numbers thing that actually it meant serial killers could kind of pick and choose the victims. Where you'd sort of go, I'm not into this guy. I don't want to waste a murder on this guy.
So they'd pull over, and the guy would go, "Oh, great, thank you." Just browsing.
It's okay, thank you. Yeah, you
just looking.
Yeah.
I don't need any help, thank you.
Do you know anyone who's like you but with more red hair? I'd love to be picked up by them.
Here's a picture of my loathed mother. If you know anyone who looks like that, and who does a lot of hitchhiking, do let me know.
And if you've got, in terms of my collection, if you've got another 11 kitchen knives, I can surround her with.
If I could create some sort of compelling altar that later could be dramatized on something. I don't know what Netflix is. Obviously, it's the 70s, but I'm imagining at some point this will be of interest to the media.
Yeah.
Look, here at Serial Killers, it's all about long-term media planning.
Yeah.
Okay, the IP of this is going to be useful for about 100 years, we think. So get on board now. Maybe you'll be a star someday.
Do you reckon there's any serial killers who were just like, there was no craziness, there was no shrine or anything like that? They just go, it's just about the killing. It's the same as just having Weetabix. Like, I don't make a shrine to my Weetabix. It's just about the killing. I can turn it. It's church and state. I can turn it up. Also, we should probably work pointing out we are anti this.
We're anti-murder, famously.
Yeah.
We are one of. Definitely one of, maybe the only officially anti-murder podcast.
Yes, and if you are listening to this, not watching on YouTube, know that this whole conversation, we've been shaking our heads.
Yeah. Well, if you can't see our hands, it's because they're doing a thumbs down. The whole time. Anyone mentions murder, I immediately go like this. Ugh. Just so people know.
Thumbs down is the sort of thing Kiss would do.
Yeah. Thumbs down to crime!
Yeah.
Do a sort of...
Hey, guys, we're showing the devil the thumbs up tonight. We're giving the devil the horns of hate, guys. The horns of hate.
I think there are serial killers where it was all
Kiss.
about the murder. Yeah, yes. Where it's all about the murdering, but then we don't hear about them because they're not of interest.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be all like saucy and Hannibal Lecter-y.
Yeah, and actually, if it's like Stephen Port, that grinder killer, where he would literally just, I think, poison people and throw them away or whatever. He's sort of go, leave that. Yeah, we're not making a show about that.
Yeah, there'll be no podcast on Netflix series about that.
Yeah,
there's not enough to talk about because all you talk about. Those would be the most honest ones to do, right? Because then what you'd have to talk about is being confronted with the horrifying reality of human cruelty, as opposed to, wasn't it weird that the skull was like upside down?
Yeah, or what happens if they also just had another hobby? So it wasn't just serial killer, but also they were just really into Sabutio. And they had all these big Sabutio tables, and they had all this like little bobble-headed Thierry Henrys and stuff like that. And they were like, is that connected? Is that connected to the woman in the lake?
They would make it connected.
Yeah.
The Netflix series would intersperse police divers going into the lake with the guy twizzling the Sabutio.
Yeah, with the occasional Alex Ferguson checking it and going, bloody hell.
For some reason, they interview him just to say that he's in the documentary.
Yeah.
They've just paid him such a large fee to be interviewed.
I'd be interviewed about any murder.
Would you?
Were you ever one of those people where... back when there was loads of TV, when you were a very new comic, that you were asked to be on one of those TV shows of like, the 90s were crazy.
Yeah.
Did you do one of those?
I've done one.
I never did one. I really wanted to do one. What did you do?
I did, it's The Big Bang Theory is ending.
As in, as a concept. We're going back to pure
tiny atom.
Yeah, we're going back to pure God, baby. I think the Big Bang Theory is coming to an end. We're going to Adam and the Rib, and we're going full in on the Rib.
A lot of comedians riffing on like what it's like to be a ball of pure matter of infinite density. Yeah. No, Big Bang Theory was ending, and it was supposed to be a Talking Heads thing about all our lovely memories of enjoying the show.
What are your thoughts on the show?
Well, I had watched, like, it had been running for like 15 years, right?
Really?
It's like one of the longest running, highest earning sitcoms of all.
Right? Yeah, I'm aware of that. It's
human history.
Depressing, yeah.
Yeah. So, Felipe, can you look up how many seasons it is? It's so many.
It's not still going, is it?
No, but then
Young Sheldon is.
Yeah, and Young Sheldon itself has like 2 spin-offs.
Fuck! What?
I know we live
like a virus.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a new Big Bang Theory. There's a new Sheldon strain.
Alpha Sheldon. It's and like it had started when I was at school.
Right.
And it was finishing when I was like almost 30.
Yeah.
So I'd watched the first 3-4 seasons because it was on TV when I was a teenager.
You just geek out.
I just look, I love jokes about Schrodinger's cat. Every third joke just has to be about fucking Schrodinger's cat.
What a nightmare to have to write on that show where you're like, it's about people who are really genius, but we need to do we can only do jokes about like primary school maths.
Yeah.
That must be so hard.
That's one of the best jokes in the intro scene of Rick and Morty.
Right.
Is that the maths equations flying around are like 1 + 1 = 2.
Right,
it's
yeah.
It's such a good parody of exactly that level of... Because they just can't do actual high-level jokes because, of course, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's this thing where it's like Sherlock Holmes being like, I think you'll find that water boils at 100 degrees, Watson. Like, it's that level of dumbass shit. But I signed up to it because I was like, I was a big fan of it when I was a kid, and it's ending, and it's £700.
Wow.
Yeah, for like an afternoon.
To just literally just go, this is a TV show.
To go, I remember it, yes. Yeah. I laughed at the jokes that there were in it. I ignored but still enjoyed Sheldon Cooper's obvious Asperger's syndrome. Like, he's definitely autistic.
Yeah.
But you can't... Like, I wrote an article for The Guardian, which was partly about how you can't admit he's autistic because then the show becomes about a quite irritating but nevertheless autistic man being constantly bullied by people not as successful in academia as him.
Yeah.
And it just becomes like a grim...
So actually what should have happened is each time he was irritating to them, they should have gone, that's amazing. That's amazing.
But it's like a scene where like he's got his special chair he needs to sit in, right?
Right.
In his flat that he lives in.
Yeah.
It's his flat.
This is like Martin Crane.
Yeah. But they're just like, why do I have to move? And it's like, it's a fucking... just let him sit in the chair.
Do you want to sit in the chair? Why do you care so much?
So the guy who you've all admitted is revolutionizing science every day, he gets a chair.
Yeah.
You do nothing, from what I can tell in this show.
Yeah.
I'm on his side, even though I wouldn't want to live with him. Anyway, I thought I've enjoyed it, and I've watched a few series. I can talk about it. But it became clear after I'd agreed to do it that you had to know like all the stuff that had been happening.
The spin-offs and the...
Well, series 11 and 12, and they were like, what did you think about when Thingy and Thingy got married? And then also they had to swap the actors, and also Leonard Nimoy, Spock, was a guest star. And I was like, fuck it, when the fuck was this? I was on the...
What a weird stress dream you had.
Yeah.
I'm in a chair and someone's told me I haven't researched the Big Bang Theory enough.
I had to spend 2 days revising for my Big Bang Theory exam.
That was then going to be on the television. Yeah. And then you'd wake up. That's when you wake up.
That's when you wake up and you go, oh, well, that's so silly.
Yeah.
But instead I had to go to a theater and sit in a little room and sit on a chair like Mastermind. While, like, with like all lights on you, like you're in trouble with the KGB.
They kept like lifting up one of the light bulbs to your face.
Well, they are in my face because it's filming. They pointed at my face, and I'm on this uncomfortable, like, high stool.
Yeah,
and
with someone being like, "There's a good Sheldon and bad Sheldon." But then just admit you didn't watch season 3. It's okay. I would admit that.
But the director would just be like. And sometimes, because the other thing, remember, is that they're phrasing it because they want you to answer in the form of the question to make it seem like your actual memory. Whereas what they're doing backstage is going, we haven't got quite enough on series 7 where they got divorced, so could we just try and get people to talk about that?
Right, yeah.
So they can't just say, tell me something about, or they don't want to just say, remember when they got divorced in series 7? Because you just go, yeah. They're worried you're going to say that. So they go, oh, something happened in series 7, didn't it, with that relationship?
But couldn't you have just gone, oh, man, it was crazy. You could have just said that for every single thing.
Do you not think I tried this?
No.
Of course.
What I thought it could be like is those, whenever like Film 4 would ever have like a summer season and they'd be sort of like, wow, 12 new movies streaming soon. And then they would just cut to like a clip of like George Clooney Ocean's ever going, that sounds great. You know what I mean? But they would just do that. What a bizarre job that's always been for someone that they have to go through, oh, sounds spooky. And that's like each of those movies.
It's a shot of just Jason Segel going, can't wait.
Yeah.
Wow. I could, oh, that was crazy, a few things.
Yeah.
But they're not recording the questions.
Oh, so those ones we have to say the question.
But that's
back to,
yeah, but they're not telling you what it's about. So they say, oh, that thing
is nightmare.
Yes. They say that thing. Oh, that thing that Howard did with the robot. And I'll go, and I'll just be like,
when Howard went to the
Howard and his robot. That was crazy because of how
crazy a boy died.
How violent, sexual, and then I could see them like nodding at sexual. I'd be like, sexual. Howard with the robot is, and it turned out that Howard built like a robot hand and like fucked it at the end of an episode.
What?
Yeah, he got himself jerked off by a robot hand. They didn't show you that, but they made it clear that that's what he was going to do with a hand.
A run out of ideas.
And it's got to the point...
He'd been jacked off by everything under the sun.
Every other cast member had jacked him off.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy had jacked him off. Richard Attenborough, David Attenborough had jacked him off.
His wanking Spock.
Yeah, which is when you have to wank someone off like this.
Jesus, that's horrible. Like between the fingers.
Yeah, between the Spock fingers. That had happened. By the way, also, if you watch series 1, 2, 3 of Big Bang Theory...
I won't.
No, but if,
yes,
God forbid, the Howard is a pervert jokes are like, oh, you should be in prison. Like, he's committing, like, crimes.
Oh, man.
He's, like, stalking people and, like, waiting outside their house and stuff, and everyone's just going...
And it's weird because
bizarre.
It's from the noughties, and I associate that with 90s TV, where, like, the big ending of an episode will be sort of like, and then the sex offender's let into the home.
Or into the sorority.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
It's insane. And depressingly, me briefly popping up on this Talking Heads thing, pouring sweat and going, the part with the race car. Like, that was the most anyone has ever texted my parents about seeing me on TV.
He's doing well.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, wow.
I couldn't believe how many people I know see on, like, E4.
Yeah.
12 years of Big Bang Theory, a Talking Heads goodbye.
Appointment television.
And they go, well, cancel the meal.
Next stop for Pierre, the Copacabana.
Cancel our...
He's playing the Copa.
Cancel our dinner reservations. We're staying in. Because we're going to watch people like me, or like, I don't know,
that was crazy.
Johnny Vegas.
Yeah.
For some reason. Just going, oh, no, fucking matter. Just talking about nothing. Just a show you've seen already. It was the most anyone has ever seen anything I've done, ever.
I mean, it's not the worst though. That's fine.
No, but it's such a...
Did you get screwed over in the edit, or was it you convincingly...
I didn't watch
I
it.
had a history teacher at school who was on TV being part of like a history teachers roundtable. It was one of those shows that they just filled BBC Two with. Do you know what I mean? Where they go, sometimes it's about gardening, sometimes it's about the war, and sometimes it used to be Mock the Week. And those are the only things on BBC Two. But he was on some history teachers roundtable where they were discussing things like the Second World War. And they discuss, it was weird because he was like, bear in mind, this was like 2007.
Yeah.
There was really no... But even, things like Twitter weren't big, so there was no sort of like the very idea of anything like Holocaust denial was just absolutely new to everybody.
It would be like meeting like one of the drink your own piss people.
Yes,
I didn't think you were real.
But he said there was one of the history teachers he was on with was basically like David Irving. And he said it was crazy, and he was telling us all as a class, but he said the worst thing was they got, at the end, they were like, we just need action shots of all of you sort of like, coming in, handshakes and stuff, greeting. We just need a few images of you just sort of listening to the other person. We just need stock footage of you like nodding your head. And then on this TV show, there was this awful Holocaust denier, and it kept cutting back to my teacher just nodding. The same shot of him nodding. And he was like, what do I do? But he was in such desperate measures, he'd asked a lower sixth form history class, guys, what do I do?
Guys. That's such a sitcom character.
It was such a weak, like, Frank Grimes thing. It was just...
Old Gil.
Yeah.
Guys, it's really bad. It's really bad. All these 17-year-olds. So we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Write them a letter, sir?
Yeah, it's one of those teachers that you'd always sort of make fun of, but when that happened, we were like, oh shit, man, that's horrible.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Let's go to the pub and...
Yeah.
That's insane. Also, like, it'd be really funny, like, and I think you should leave way, where he's just like nodding while this guy's saying all this horrible shit, and then it just keeps cutting to them shaking hands.
Yeah.
And then just like
and in like a history documentary, like the background is like a sort of Nazi flag that's interspersed in the background.
But also, every time it cuts to them shaking hands, the camera zoomed in more on the hands. Each time, shaking, like it's so.
When I used to be a journalist, I always wanted to try and like not play fast and loose, but wanted to know the rules around playing fast and loose around stuff like election periods, for instance.
Yeah, when there's purdah.
My God, when it was the start of an election period, LBC, we're talking like a decade ago.
Yeah,
it was crazy in that, you had to, over the course of a general election period, give the exact same amount of seconds airtime, according to Ofcom, to the 4 most popular parties. So it's Conservatives, Labour, Lib Dems, and UKIP at the time. And although UKIP didn't have any representation in Parliament, they were like, in terms of like potential share of the vote, it will be in the top 4.
The polling, yeah.
Yeah. And so what it meant was, okay, the easiest way to do this is you play 20 seconds of David Cameron at 8 o'clock, and then you play 20 seconds of Ed Miliband at 9 o'clock, and then 20 seconds of Farage at 11, that sort of thing. And then what you then had to do was fill it out in a big booklet. And that got sent off to Ofcom. And so by the end of the election period, they could go, yeah, there was only a 20-second discrepancy over the course of 6 months. And it was wild, absolutely wild that had to happen.
That is crazy.
But I always wanted to be like, were you allowed to in that election be like, well, it's the 4 main parties going head to head, and a big picture of, Tim Farron and a big picture of David Cameron? Were you allowed to have the picture of Nigel Farage when he's been rescued from that plane crash? You remember on election day where he's like just covered in blood? Why can't you use that? Would you be allowed to use that? I always thought if you interviewed a politician, I'd be sort of like, if there's a politician you didn't like, you'd be sort of like, okay, we'll set you up for the interview, and be like, sorry, trying to get the lights. The lights are a bit funny. Do you mind just lowering your head slightly? Yeah, just lower your head a bit more. Sorry, the mic's being a bit weird. Would you mind talking slightly lower? So then every time it sort of cuts to someone like Ed Miliband, he'd be sort of like, obviously we want the best for what's right for the nation. But if it cut to Nigel Farage, he would be cloaked in shadow, looking like under his eyelids going, we want to do our very best.
The country has... it's like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You go, and of course the lighting has been randomized per party. So I'm afraid you're in dark red lighting. You're in blue lighting.
All the other politicians are sort of at a 45-degree angle. They're talking to an interviewer off screen. You are facing the screen, looking down directly at them. Why can't you do that?
Oh, like Rory Stewart's stool on the Tory leadership debate is just at a 12-degree angle. So he's actually just like leaning his bum against it. Like, when you're too tall for the bum rest chair on the train.
Mm.
He's just there like a cowboy.
And we go, there was just a bit of, there was sort of I think a blacksmith next door. So there's the occasional sound of like metal clanking upon metal as you do it. We want the very best for the United Kingdom. Well, that's 20 seconds. Ofcom should be pretty happy with that.
It's 23. I mean, look, if anything, we're being a little unfair. What about everyone has to use like a handheld mic, but one of them gets like a kind of child's karaoke, like a pink singster mic.
Where is your voice?
It sounds like pirate radio.
Yeah, pirate radio, or like someone, like a Christian at Oxford Circus with one of those headsets.
God is coming. But instead it's Nigel Farage going, it's absolutely ridiculous. Do you think
that would be weird if you saw someone flogging Bibles outside Oxford Circus? What the fuck?
Someone handing out Bibles outside Oxford Circus, but what if they had an incredible mic and an incredibly smooth radio-style manner? That would be much more unsettling.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, like Jeremy Vine.
Or like, those real like early 90s sort of American radio is like, you're listening to Capital.
Yeah. We're giving out Bibles. Like lightning, God's wrath and stuff.
Where like, you're listening to KABLYC TO20.
Yeah.
The best station in the tri-state area.
What was that about?
They all just,
The radio stations have to have a name that's like a Soviet code. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, we do have LBC to be fair, but at least it stands for something.
Stands for something. What does KBB like? It would be a load of letters and then a number. And I've never fully comprehended tri-state area.
No, I say it a lot, and I don't know why.
It's fun.
It's fun to say, to refer to like Reading as being in the tri-state area.
I think in the tri-state area is the American equivalent of just off the M6.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like...
It sounds better, yeah.
It's sort of middle of nowhere, but it's also somehow central. Mm. So we've got some misheard lyrics from Claire.
Oh, great.
Because we were discussing just how fun it is to sing, gonna fuck your dad, gonna fuck your dad.
So many, yeah. Do you remember the 11th day of September? 2 planes flew into the World Trade Center. You can do it with any song.
I've never heard you sing that one before. I thought I knew all of your hits.
The hits.
Glenn sings the hits. Gonna fuck your dad. Do you remember, brackets 9/11, real mix?
I remember at uni, me and a friend coming up with the idea of this guy it was one of those sort of adverts you get in between like ad breaks for Good Morning Britain, where they'd advertise sort of real like albums for mums. But it was a guy who sang the hits of World War I poetry.
What?
No, we made it up.
Oh.
So it's like, you wouldn't say with such high zest that old phrase Dolce et Decorum. And it's like some swing singer.
Gas, boys, gas. Fucking hell. Someone's going to sell that. That's going to be real.
Yeah.
What was the thing when, was it Britain's Got Talent, where that really fat guy would dress up like a World War II soldier?
Yeah, and everyone was like, well, actually, he's still on the beaches. I think you're fine. No, he didn't. Did you look it up? I don't have the internet.
He was in the army from like 1975 to 1978 or something.
Yeah, it was really, he'd been on like the National Front for a week. But because he saluted and wore medals.
Everyone just went,
yeah.
He was there. Omaha Beach. Even though he's not American. Misheard lyrics from Claire. A friend reported some misheard Bee Gees song lyrics that have now become the only option available to my brain. Instead of more than a woman to me.
Yeah.
What's the tune of that?
More than a woman. I nearly should call my show More Glen a Woman.
That's good. More Glen a Woman is good. More Glen, then a woman.
Yeah.
And then you just make sure
yeah, so it's like me opening for Sarah Silverman or something.
Yeah, but actually never comes on.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
That could be like your concept show. More than a woman. More Glen, a woman. Okay. More than a woman. Well,
more than a woman to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Four-legged woman. Four-legged woman to knees. That's good, isn't it?
4 legs, 2 knees.
Horrible.
So, do 2 of the legs not have knees and they're very straight?
They're like pegs.
They're at the front.
They're like pegs.
Or is the knee doing a lot of work and the from each knee comes 2 legs?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So 4-legged woman brackets 2 knees, 2 thighs.
Yes.
So it's more like spider pincers.
Yeah.
Or like a crab pincer with a single thigh on
yes,
top.
whereas the other, what we're picturing, the other one, if it's 2 straight legs and then 2 with a knee, it's more like a shopping trolley where like only 2 of the wheels can sort of move around and the other 2 are actually quite rigid.
You would want the back ones to have the knees for like leaping.
That's exactly it. Yeah, the first ones are just leading the charge.
Yeah, because
they're keeping you upright.
They're just keeping you upright.
Yeah.
Like that. That's okay. Like when you see a dog with a double cast and the dog's kind of clacking along with pegs, sort of peg legs.
Yeah.
That's kind of
it's
fine.
like a wheelbarrow race sort of thing where one person, Four-legged woman.
Four-legged woman.
Again, always fun to picture the Bee Gees writing it, releasing it, and people hearing it in the 70s going, why are you telling us about this?
Is she real?
Why are you telling us this?
Have you made her up?
I just wanted you to know about her.
We just thought it was cool.
That's their speaking voice. Man, it's so fun when you like. I've never heard them speak, but I cannot imagine Phil Collins' speaking voice or like the lead singer of Chicago or anything like that. But
Phil Collins sounds like Gollum. It turns out.
Yeah,
incredible artist.
Is this around your drums?
You're like, ugh.
Yeah.
It'd be like it would be like a gossip thing. It'd be like, you know why the labels don't let Phil do any of the interviews?
Yeah. For the Tarzan movie, stupid fat hobbit says you can't hurry, love. You've just got to wait. A drumming ape.
He gets really angry about a Cadbury's advert.
The drums in the deep is in the air tonight. That's what that was about.
I can't.
So when Peter Gabriel left, they were like, well, why don't we just use Gollum as our singer for Genesis?
Look, Gollum can do it.
Gollum can do it.
From the Isle of Man, the Bee Gees.
I'm going to say Gollum.
So Gollum's from the Isle of Man?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
I got the ferry over from Liverpool. Every day. It's not part of the UK. Technically, I think.
Yeah. Bee Gees born on the island, but they left when they were like 2, so.
Right, okay, it still counts.
There's still a statue of them.
My dad says the same thing, but didn't they move to Manchester?
Moved to Manchester or Liverpool.
My dad says that, they're from Manchester.
Yeah. But then they moved to Australia when they were like 6, so then the Australians also claimed the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought there'd be such a bun fight over the fucking Bee Gees?
Yeah. Do you know there's a 4th Bee Gee?
is all of us.
It's
Right.
you, the player.
Right here.
Yeah. The crowd was really our fourth BG tonight. I think his name was like Andy Gibb. And he just had like one massive hit in like the 70s.
Really?
Yeah, but he was just so separate to the rest of the family.
He was younger.
Yeah.
Wow.
He died.
Yeah.
He died
It's
of
like the
drug
other...
overdose.
What?
wow.
Yeah,
I thought he was like still going.
No, he died of a drug overdose in the early 80s.
Today?
No.
Oh, right. So there was like a fourth one and
Yeah.
did a thing on his own.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
one
yeah.
big hit, which I think they produced with him,
Yeah.
and he was going to be his own thing, and then he died.
When did it? Who was the first person that was like successfully being like a sexy heartthrob with a like an insane? Let's face it, the voice of a cartoon puppet.
Yeah, Barry Gibb. And how did to have the confidence to start singing like that and hope I hope nobody laughs
To be
at
like,
me.
I'm like a big guy with a big beard.
He's
and-
like he's got a Santa beard. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
gonna, I'm gonna come on and go.
It's like a big Glenn Campbell, Robert Redford, big friendly 70s beard.
Yeah, it's a helpful lumberjack's beard. Yeah, your lumberjack will be like, time to go into the forest and get some more lumber. So I'm going to
Yeah.
like, is he okay? And he'd be like, oh yeah. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, he's one of the Gibbs.
He's okay. Well, Claire says, which of course led to a lively debate on whether it's the 2 knees per leg or 2 between the 4.
Hey,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
sorry to then have an argument in front of you.
it. Thank you, Claire. Underground Tat from John Joe. I think it's pronounced John Joe.
John Joe, yeah. John Joe Shelby's a person.
Is it?
Mm.
Oh.
Is it?
Is it?
What is it?
It's a hot. Oh God! It's not wet wipes. It's wet ones, right? Which I already don't like.
Yeah, I've got a packet of wet ones at home. Not for me.
Wet ones.
For the neighbour.
Wet.
For the neighbour, John.
For the postman.
John, do you need a wipe?
John, just hammer it on the door 11 times. Wet ones.
John, if you can hear me, I think you need a wipe.
I hate this. I hate this scenario.
I don't know what
Shouting through the paper thin wall.
Yeah, the idea that you could tell through the wall that he needs that.
He stinks.
Yeah.
And that he'll hear you.
I remember seeing someone online sort of complaining about their old housemates, and they were like, I remember my housemates having to sit me down and complain about the amount of toilet paper I was using. And I was like, that's horrible. That's really grim. But also, it's so much more grim if they were like, you're not using enough.
It's up your back.
Why would you post this online?
You've shit up your back like a baby. How have you done this?
Yeah, like a baby or someone on a train.
So it's an advert for wet ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big billboard, and it says, for the icky and the sticky.
Fuck, hate.
Yeah.
Awful.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's in different, like, for the
'Cause it
icky is
implies the
white and
sticky-
sticky blue.
Because it implies the sticky isn't icky.
And the icky's not sticky.
Yeah, so the sticky, like, you can be sticky and that's fine. There's no ickiness to your stickiness.
Is it that, like, so often I think that people just lead with the rhyme first.
Yeah, there's been no thought
No.
going into that. I really, really despise tweeness and wholesomeness around stuff like wet wipes and loo roll.
Yeah.
It is so vile. I knew someone who had to present an advert years ago where it was like a group of mates off the street, and she was saying, right, do you scrunch or do you fold? And it was like, this is awful. Like, I was having a heart attack watching. I was getting so anxious watching it. Like, that would make me confess government secrets quicker than talk to whoever could.
You see, you can either tell us the name of your handler,
Yeah.
or you can tell us if you scrunch or fold.
Just vile. And then they were sort of like, well, I'm a bit of a folder actually. And the mates are like, I knew you were. And I was like, we're in hell. We're in hell.
I knew you were.
What do you guys talk about other than this?
I knew you were because of how often I think about your beshat asshole and the exact how many times I've pictured you folding. How many times,
Jenny.
Whenever you go to the loo and we're in a restaurant, and I think folding.
And also, they were so open. They were so open to telling this girl who was just on a sofa in a street with a microphone.
And, like-
that's all you need to get people to confess.
And like laughing.
Yeah.
It's the kind of cheerful mind how you go that I can't stand about it.
No, to be fair. To be fair, the only thing it had going for it was the jovial atmosphere. If she'd been like, come on. Which is it then?
Syria or no? Just
And they're there, like they're outside the head teacher's office, like head down.
Fold, miss.
Louder.
Fold, miss.
And why?
I think the ridges are. No, if it was not even like strict, it was just despair.
Yeah.
Do you scrunch or do you fold? What? Do you scrunch or do you fold? Scrunch or to fold what?
Yeah. Do I have to say?
When you take the paper, when you've just finished shitting,
You made your dirt.
when you've made your dirt, Peter, do you take the paper? Do you scrunch it up or do you fold it?
When you've expelled your awful snakes.
Come, sit on this couch. Sit with me. We have something to talk about. We have much to discuss. Quick. We've got a trickaloo from Graham.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it had to be jovial. I do accept that.
Yeah.
Fine.
What do you do? When you've made your burger, what do you do?
That's the worst one you've said. Made your burger is a sentence from the devil's mind. That is awful. Trickaloo from Graham. Ugh. Hello to you both. I'm enjoying BudPod 2.0 a lot.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And I will redact all praise. I have a trickaloo for you that happened back in my last years of senior school in the early 80s.
I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry. You know when it's now not about anything?
Yeah.
And it's just now an illness. I want to go back to normal. I want to go back to not crying.
Not thinking about the couch. We used to have a block of 3 PE sessions, which in total was about an hour and 45, where the school would bus us to the next town for the swimming pool there. We gathered in the car park to await the arrival of the minibus. We would just hang around chatting. On one occasion, a fellow school friend I shall call Alex approached me, said hello and whatnot, and then proceeded to ask me if I'd got myself a Saturday job. I had not, but without hesitation, I told him that I had.
What?
Yep. You got a Saturday job? Yep. I had no reason to say this. Alex had always been pleasant to me in the past, and maybe it was a heady mix of curiosity, my fledgling comedic brain, and pangs of puberty that I replied positively. Alex was immediately interested and wanted more details. I said, "Oh, I'm working in part of the city nearby for a company called Lucas, making headlights for cars." Utter nonsense. This excited Alex.
Wow.
I guess
What are the chances?
I guess he wants a Saturday job making headlights at Lucas.
Yeah.
Do you think you could get me a job there? Came the next question. Well, who was I not to help out a pal? At this point, my now older and much wiser self would have stepped in and stopped right there. But I did not. By not stopping is why I'm writing to you. Maybe you should write an application letter and I'll pass it on, I proposed. Alex's eyes lit up and he said he'd do that. And I thought no more about it until the following week when Alex appears back in the waiting group. Could you hand this to the manager for me? There in his hand was an envelope, a handwritten envelope, with what I suspected was the application letter composed in a time long before home word processor was readily available. So he's handwritten his...
Oh, man.
This is heartbreaking. He had taken time over this letter, and now I was in the crap. I let out a okay in reply. I took it home and opened it, and it was indeed an application letter. The next step was to speak to him about it next week and tell him it was all a bit of a jape and have a laugh about it.
Just say, I don't think... It looks like they didn't get... Looks like you weren't qualified.
Hi, Alex, I chirped. You've got an interview.
What are you doing? What are you doing? There have been so many, things people sort of go like, the best time to start saving the planet was yesterday. The second best time is now. Like you go, that every second that passes is now still an okay time.
Just to say, I lied for no reason. I lied for no reason. That's what you'd have to say.
Yeah.
I'm mental. And I lied for no reason because I'm fucking crazy. You've got an interview. And I gave him an address and a date and a time that was plausible. The following Saturday, if I recall, and I left it as that. I saw Alex the following week, and he was not so upbeat and confessed that they weren't able to find the place, as it was a shame as his parents had taken him down there after cancelling a family outing.
Fuck,
so they could get to the interview.
Awful.
The guilt hit me hard. I explained the whole thing was a ruse, and he laughed a bit, but not very convincingly. Ugh. Had I ruined a family day out? Many years have passed, and I've told that story many times. And people have, he's taken the praise of people saying, oh, how funny. It was only recently I started to think, did Alex know it was bullshit from the start? Was the letter writing and the ruining the family day out all part of his own trickaloo? And was I the sucker or the trickalee? In a lot of ways, I hope so. Yeah, I bet. This is terrible. If I saw him again, I would apologize.
Well, John Joe,
no,
you're
this is from
horrible.
This is from Graham.
Oh, this is from Graham. No, separate to that.
Sorry,
John Joe's horrible.
John Joe.
Yeah.
John Joe, you're horrible.
Graham, I think
That's crazy.
he was not... I don't think your friend was mucking about with you, but I think when they were like, we actually cancelled a family event to go there, I think that was nonsense as a guilt trip of like, so can you get me this job? Look how committed I am.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I think both, obviously Graham's more in the wrong.
Absolutely mad thing to lie about.
Absolutely mad. I inadvertently trickalooed.
Did you?
The other day. And the worst thing is, I'm still to this day, like, I didn't trickaloo, but they will think I was trickalooing. I was out at a shopping centre last week, and I was getting a snack, and as I was queuing up for a snack, this couple, maybe in like the sort of early 70s, were also queuing, and the woman in the couple went, "Where do I know you from?" And I went, I don't know. Because I always think it's easy to just go, I don't know. Because what if there is a chance that they do know you personally and you go, well, I think you'll find it was actually live at the Apollo. But I was like, I don't know. And she went, are you from the TV? And I was like, okay, that's that. Then in which case I know what realm this is in then. Mm-hmm. So I went, yeah, sometimes, yeah. And she went, I thought so. And then her husband went, no. He's that guy that gets cabs really early on our road.
No.
Because obviously I use them to get to Absolute. And so like they must see me at like 5:30 or whatever.
Because they're curtain twitching because they hear a car pull up.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Have they come to take us away?
And then they looked at me as if to be like, why did you say you're from the TV? You're from road.
You're not from TV, you're from road. You're from morning time. You're from the morning fear.
And I was like, oh, that too, sorry. And so they must have thought what a weird prank I played to them where I'd been like, I'm Bruce Forsyth.
Like, yeah, I'm actually
and Deck. I'm actually and Deck.
I'm actually a handsome millionaire.
Yeah.
No, it's just that guy who he's always see in the bin.
Yeah.
The bin man.
The guy who gets cabs so early, his life must be dreadful.
The guy who gets
that can't be TV related.
The guy who gets the cab so early and so discreetly that it must be to some sort of, I suppose, building full of paedophiles. I'm not really sure. Something horrible.
That's the paedophile from our road.
That's the guy who goes back to prison every day in the cabs because they let him sleep at home. Because of woke.
Prisons are so cushy, yeah. So cushy.
That is horrifying. Did you not get to clarify?
I didn't think it was worth it.
You didn't think it was worth it to go, no, but I get the cabs to go to the radio, and then because of the radio, sometimes I'm on TV.
Yeah, I didn't want to then go, but actually I have been on television. I didn't want to say that. I thought that's so much worse.
Getting your phone out going, look!
Yeah. Look at it.
Putting your hand on top of their heads and turning it at your phone.
Yeah. Look at the video. Look, I know that's Dara Breen. Keep watching. He'll introduce the guests in a second.
Just look.
Yeah. Just
look.
turning their head to, okay, that's looked.
Someone's trying to leave the shop. You go, just look, don't leave.
Yeah.
I do see you. Look. Put your phone down.
Yeah.
Unless you're looking up me and not the police. Well, speaking of people who don't know who we are, we got to go to the VIP section now, the Patreon.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sign up to the Patreon, you get an extra episode a week.
Whole extra episode on a Friday.
There are some more bonuses coming soon to the Patreon membership, which will be good fun to reveal to you. And also the 45-minute live episode from Sheffield with an appearance from our old dad, Phil Wang, our old dad. Our ex-husband? How do we...
Maybe ex-husband might be quite nice.
Yeah, ex-husband is quite fun. Our ex-husband, Phil. Yes, send in any sort of misheard or altered lyrics that you enjoy singing around the place.
Let's call it altered lyrics.
Altered lyrics, yeah.
Yeah.
Send in your altered lyrics.
We want some creativity.
Yeah, we want some disgusting, horrible creativity.
Button Boys launches tomorrow as well.
Yeah, God.
So, our new video games podcast.
Tomorrow, guys, me, Glenn, and Sarah Keyworth are all discussing gaming. And then that will also have like a Patreon with extra bonuses and stuff where we're playing through Dark Souls and recommending games.
But it's episodes every Thursday from now on of us chatting video games and games that are coming out, games that we're playing, games we're reminiscing about. It's entirely games related. Like if you've ever listened to a podcast about a specialist subject and then it ends up delving off into their personal lives and stuff. No, this is just all we talk about is games.
Yeah, that's our pledge. It will not become a podcast where we interview people from the world of business about their childhood trauma.
No, we do have Stephen Bartlett on in week 2. That's the only thing. There's one thing.
But it's because he's invented a side-scrolling pixel game where you are a marketing manager fighting through a sort of world of enemies comprised of sort of various people in charge of budget for advertising placement. And a princess who you have to rescue has been kidnapped by a guy who investigates people who overestimate the value of their companies.
But it's crazy. Apparently there are some levels where you can get genuinely like 10 coins. It's like mad.
So download Button Boys tomorrow, guys, and check it out and enjoy, especially if you're a gamer.